It was just a day like any other. Tuesday, I believe, a sunny Tuesday. Nothing special about it, nothing different had happened. I'd been home most of the day. Iain was busy working in the garden. I think he spends more time there than anywhere else. He'd been to the garden centre, you see. I know he needed to get some more soil and some canes for his beans. He'd been home for about an hour or so, and I remembered I'd put my sunglasses in the glove compartment. So I nipped out to the car and got into the passenger seat, collected my sunglasses and was about to get out, when I noticed soil all over the front seats and the footwells, and then my eyes darted back and the back seats were covered too. It looked as if Iain had trouble with one of the compost bags or something. Why had he left it like that? Was he expecting I wouldn't notice, or maybe hoping I'd even clean it up? I was absolutely furious. I slammed the door and marched straight round to the side gate. As soon as I opened it, I could see Iain in the greenhouse, completely absorbed, putting labels on his new seedlings. So I tapped on the glass and said, "Iain, what the hell happened to the car?" He slowly looked up from the tray he was focused on, in that annoying way that he always does, like he's wasting your time pretending to be a sloth. It's a game he plays. He normally does it for the grandchildren, who find it highly amusing. He looks at me, expressionless, and says, "I'll clean it out later. There's no need to make such a fuss, darling." So, in that moment, I made a choice, and that was to smile sweetly and hold my breath, which is in fact the only way I can contain my anger. I turn and head back to the house. I walk past the car, and I'm heading for the front door, when an impulse takes over me. I guess you could say it was almost like I've been possessed. I run back to the car and get into the driver's seat. I sit there for a moment, eyes closed, wondering why on earth I've got back in. As I open my eyes, all I'm aware of is the crumbled earth surrounding me. I can physically feel a pressure growing beneath my feet, as if I've stepped into a hot bath and it's slowly raising up my legs and seeping into my groin. Quite quickly it boils up and fills my stomach, and before it's even had time to brew, it's spreading into my chest, and my face becomes flushed and beetroot red. I put the key into the ignition and reverse the car out of the driveway. As I get to the end of the street, I have no idea where I'm heading, but I know I must escape. A drive to process, a bit of me time, something to ease this burning in my soul. As I begin to drive around our village, I'm overcome with memories of us, Iain and I, and the years we spent here. There's a wonderful familiarity with the old place. I think if you blindfolded me, I could trace every step and know each house by number. Along with that comfort comes responsibility, and of course people's fixed ideas. It's where the children were born and grew up. It's where we're known and are a solid part of the community. We've both been on the local board at one point or another, figures of the villages. They're parts we play, roles assigned to us. The truth is, they frustrated me for years. Meetings, notes, minutes, events, socials, all for other people, all for us to feel connected to something. Taking time away from us, who we were, the couple that got lost in it all. That young love was packed full of tenderness and lust and expansive adventure, whittles down to discussing sandwich fillings and the next summer's shitty tombola prizes. As I keep driving, now heading out of our village and towards the fields and orchards, it's as if I can see through the fog that hangs over me and has done for years, the desire to feel, the desire to be torn out of the mundane, the sheer thrill drought. It's as if I've just realised that I've been solidly suffocating in a huge wrap of cling film and I've just bitten my own escape hole. Iain and I have discussed so many times about leaving and starting afresh. He worries about changes that would need to happen, the sacrifices of our social standing, the chains that would need to be cut. But he doesn't feel like me. He thinks we're over the hill, organised and routined. I don't really know who I'm most angry with. Iain for convincing me that this is the best life has to offer, or really myself, settling for the ordinary, ground down by keeping up with the Joneses. I make a decision. I open the car door and calmly exit the car. I go to the boot and I take out the green plastic petrol can that's been in the car since we bought it 8 years ago. Almost Neanderthal-like, I tear off a piece of my beige M&S cardigan I'm wearing and throw the rest of it into the car. I soak the light cotton material and watch the shade of it darken. Once it's completely sodden, I prepare the cigarette lighter in the car, which has never been used. I put the tip of the red-hot light to the edge of the fabric and wait for the devouring to begin. I roll down the window and I throw the blazing cardigan into the car. I watch as the flames tickle the edge of the seat fabric, melting the seams of the plastic forms. It begins to swell, smell and spread, filling the car with grey bellows of smoke. I step back slightly from my current position to get a better overview and to distance myself from the growing heat. My body is heaving with adrenaline, my palms are sweaty, and I can't take the rigid grin off my face. It's euphoric to be the creator, the observer. No one would have thought it of me, lovely Wendy. She's so together and traditional. What do they fucking know? Nothing. This expression in front of me is the first thing in the last 15 years that's even come close to the ache that I carry constantly. As I watch the flames increase and lick at each aspect of the interior, this is I've just been freed. I start to back away from the intense inferno, but something catches my eye in the back seat. Oh, it's our Atlas map. That's been noted with every place we've ever been to, and all the places we dreamt and wished to travel, marked each with a dot and a handwritten note, in different colours to both Iain and I. Double dots to the places we've been together. Something we started when we first met. Something that would have been passed on to the children. Oh shit, what have I done?